Hey guys, it's Ivy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be filming my review and discussion for Stranger Things Season 2. In comparison to Season 1, Season 2 gets way more cinematic. It definitely umps what it has already started in Season 1. There's more character building, there's more plot building, there's more characters introduced, and I cannot really choose between Season 1 or Season 2 which one I like better, because I really enjoyed both equally. Season 1, you're getting introduced to what's happening in the Upside Down and Will disappearing and Eleven coming in, and then in Season 2 you're getting introduced back into the Upside Down. What is happening to Will since he came back and how he's trying to adjust and how he can adjust. That's it for pretty much the non-spoilery section. If you haven't watched Stranger Things Season 2 or Season 1, go do it. You should wait no longer. It is literally one of the best shows on TV. After you watch it, come back, let's talk, discuss our thoughts, and bye non-spoilery people. Okay, so Season 2 was insane and epic. Can we just jump right in? Like, Dustin, #1 favorite character of this season. He is so funny. He's just cursing so much and it cracks me up every time. And he's just hilarious. Like, every scene that he is in, I'm just like, man, this kid is great. Talk about the little lizard that he finds. If I hear something moving in my trash can like that, and I go and I look and I find this little thing, and I know that it could be a creepy little thing from the Upside Down, I am not keeping it or feeding it nougat or anything. It just keeps getting bigger. The more he feeds it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then one of the scenes that I really liked is when he's all dressed in the hockey gear, and then he has the baloney and he's running and he's like, shit, 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 shit. And then he locks the demi-dog down in the, like, I don't know what it's called. He locks the demi-dog down in that thing, and then he's like looking for all of his friends, and where are all of his friends? Why are none of them answering him? Like, poor Dustin. And he shows up at Mike's house and he's looking for Mike and Nancy. Their parents are like, oh, my children don't live here. Here comes Steve to the rescue. He shows up and Dustin's like, do you still have that bat with the nails in it? And Steve's like, what's going on? But the two of them, their chemistry together was awesome, and Steve gives him hair advice and love advice, and their dynamic is incredible. I definitely hope we see more of that in Season 3. That was like one of my favorite aspects of the show, was the two of them together. And then I didn't know I was gonna feel bad for Steve, but then I did. Even though I ship Nancy and Jonathan, Nancy and Jonathan go and they visit the Murray guy, and he's like, they're eating breakfast. First of all, I love when he analyzes them. Like, that is great. And then the next morning when they're eating breakfast, and he's like, so Jonathan, how was that pull out? And then his, like, eggs fall off his plate. That was hilarious. Definitely a good scene, and I'm pretty sure that they said that was, like, ad-libbed. Like, that wasn't even, like, in the script or anything. Right away, when we're introduced to Mad Max, and they're all, like, trying to figure out who the Mad Max is, and they find out it's the new girl, and she's like calls them stalkers, and they're like creeping on her. Oh, and then Dustin and Lucas like both like liking her. Like, I was definitely team Lucas for that one. Like, I think that they're so cute together. Max picking Lucas made for an even better like finale when Nancy goes and dances with Dustin after he's all like been turned down and sad, and that was just really, really cute. And Lucas and Max hold hands when they're hiding inside the bus from the Demogorgons. That was really cute too. And that was like the main moment when you knew like she's gonna pick Lucas. She definitely likes Lucas. Max was a cool character. I could not figure out like what was going on between her and Billy. I was like, that was a mystery to me the whole time. I was like, I don't know what's happening here. Like, when are they gonna show it? And that was great anticipation build up. And then we finally found out that their two families came together, and that they're step siblings, and that Billy has anger problems because his dad has anger problems, and his dad is crazy, like abusive towards him, and then that's why you find out Billy is abusive towards Max, and that's really sad. It makes up for a great scene when Billy shows up to Mike's house looking for Max, and Mrs. Wheeler answers the door after she gets out of the bath. Like, that character dynamic was hilarious. I was like, oh, what are they gonna get into after she's like reading the romance novel in the bathtub, and she comes out and sees this guy and she's all checking out his butt and all that. I thought that was hilarious. We definitely got to meet a lot more of all the other kids' family members in this season, and I thought that was a lot of fun. My favorite family to meet was Dustin's mom. Like, the two of them together is just such great character banter. Like, they're so cute and adorable together. So we get to meet Lucas's family, and I was just cracking up with Erica when Dustin is on the walkie-talkie and he's looking for Lucas, and he's like, code red, and Erica's like, code shut your mouth, and then like turns Dustin off, and then that sends him on his escapade to like find everybody, and then he gets linked up with Steve, and just the two of them hunting for the demi-dog together is hilarious when they're walking on the train tracks. One of the characters that I really loved and I hated to see go was Bob. I knew it from the beginning. I'm like, they're gonna get rid of him. His character is fucking awesome and they're gonna get rid of him. And I'm just like, no, you can't kill Sam, no. But yeah, they did. They got rid of our buddy. I think that's gonna set up for Joyce Byers and Chief Hopper, so that will be really good to see as well. But still, like, Bob was hilarious, but then he also like set Will up. Like, I thought maybe, I was like, maybe like him listening to Bob is a good thing, but then when Bob was like, just turn around and tell the monster, like, go away, go away, go away, which that would work for Bob because it is in his nightmares, but it's not gonna work for Will. Like, this is a real living thing. The Upside Down is real, and the shadow monster is real, and oh my god, that scene when the shadow monster is going inside Will and he's just like seizing, oh, I was scared. I was like, that, but how they pulled that off, I was blown away. Like, that was an epic scene. Will is being put through like the mostest. Like, this kid was in the Upside Down. He comes back from the Upside Down. He's throwing up little worm things, and then he's having now memories. We think like that he's going to be the spy. Like, Mike's like, oh, you're gonna be the spy in on the shadow monster, and then it turns out like he's spying for the shadow monster, that the shadow monster is like totally taken over. When they lock Will up in like the shed, and they don't know, like, Will doesn't know where they are, and they're like trying to make sure Will's still in there, and he's doing the Morse code on the side of his chair. Like, that was a really groundbreaking scene. Like, I'm like, thank God Will's still there. And but then the phone rings, and then they know, like, they're like, oh, now they know where they're at, and then all the Demogorgons come in. Really a surprise for Eleven to show up. Like, I was really sad like that she wasn't like with the group this season. Like, I did like the character banter between her and Chief Hopper, but it was really sad not to see her with all the boys. And then when she actually goes to like go and see Mike, and then she sees Mike with Max, and she thinks that there's something going on between them, and Max falls off her board, and she's like, oh, it was like a magnetic was pulling me. I know that sounds weird. And like, Mike knows like 11 was just here. And I wish she would have just talked to them, but of course, like, it was anticipation. But still, like, I really missed all of them together. Still enjoyed Chief Hopper and 11 together. Like, their father-daughter connection, like, you can just see that growing and getting better, and them just, like, having so much love for each other. And then, like, 11, she's searching for her real home, and she goes and she finds her mama, and she's, like, gets in her mama's head and finds out the loop of the rainbow sunflower whole thing that her mother says, and that was really cool. And then she goes to find her sister, and I was like, that's gonna be awesome, like, two powerful women together. But then she tries to put 11 on this dark path, and that, like, that's when 11's like, no, my home isn't with my mama, my home isn't with you, my home is back home with the boys and Chief Hopper. And so when her final entrance, when they're all being attacked at Joyce's house by the Demogorgons, I knew it. Like, I'm like, as soon as I unlock, I'm like, it's 11. Like, even before that, when she throws the Demogorgon into the window. Finally, we get to see her and Mike come back together, and that, oh my gosh, that was so heartbreaking. Like when Mike is like hitting Chief Hopper, and he's like, you know, because he knew Chief Hopper had 11 hidden that whole time, and Mike's like, the whole time, and that was really heartbreaking. Like, I cried, definitely cried. I cried a lot this season, actually, but I laughed a lot too, so it's okay. Season 1, we only had one Demogorgon, and then now we have like a whole pack of dogs, like just brutally attacking, and they have to after the Morse code, Will's like close the gate, and so that's 11's big entrance when she comes in to close the gate. And then I was afraid, like, what are they gonna do? Like, are they gonna kill her? Is she gonna run out of power? Or, you know, are the Demogorgons gonna kill another person? Because we already lost Bob, and that was a sad part of the show. I'm really glad we didn't lose 11, because she's like the most important part to the show. She is a kick-ass female. Can we just say how Joyce Byers is Mother of the Year? Like, she believes in her kids. She believes in what they're saying. Like, she is not gonna give up. These doctors are shit. Like, she's like, tell me what's wrong with my boy. Like, and like, she just is down for whatever. Like, when they create that whole map that goes all the way around the house that he's like scribbling, and she puts all that together, that is a mom who is down for her kids. Like, she is there through thick and thin, and she's going to figure out what is wrong with her son. And then when at the end, Will says earlier on, like, oh, he likes it cold, which because the mind flayer is inside him, so she like thinks like she's gonna sweat out the monster, so she puts Will in the cabin with all those heaters on him, and he's like sweating, and then when the black veins start like crawling up, and then Jonathan like tries to turn all the heaters off because he's like, you're killing him, and she's like, no, and she's like not gonna give up. She is gonna get this thing out of her son. She's gonna save her son. She's going to bring him back. And that Joyce Byers is a great character. Winona Ryder kills it. She is an amazing actress. I was laughing so hard when Dustin is locking the Demogorgon down in the hole, and he's like, you ate my cat. It's like, can we get some justice from you? It's like, his poor mom is looking everywhere for that cat, and then he lies, says that he's like, somebody was on the phone, and they're like, oh, we seen him, blah blah blah. Dustin, that's so sad. That poor cat. Sad this season to see Mike, because he's definitely depressed in this season, and like, he doesn't even want to accept Max, and I feel really sorry for Max. Like, she's just new to this town, and she wants friends, and they keep like trying to bring her in on the group, and like, Mike, it just is not having it, because he's so upset over 11, and he's still like every single day tries to reach out to her, and he's still not getting like any signs from her, even though she's like watching him every day. It's just really like heartbreaking to see him go through all of that and not be like the Mike that we know from season 1. But then when 11 does show up, and they're back together, and then they're all at the dance together, and that scene at the dance is so cute when they're all dancing together, Lucas and Max, and Mike and 11, but then Dustin like is asking all those girls, and they're all like, no, and then Nancy comes and saves the day, and she's like, you were always my favorite, and then it's just so cute. The cinematic part of this is an amazing dynamic. Like, the gate when 11 is closing it is out of this world. Like, just watching all of that at the end when they're filming them at the dance, and then the camera just starts to tilt and it goes upside down, and then you know, like, the mind flayer is still watching. Like, that shadow monster did not go nowhere, and I'm assuming he's gonna find his way back in for revenge, or just trying to take over because he feels superior over everything else. So I don't know what they're gonna do with season 3. That's the thing, is you never know what's going to happen in this show. Like, it's really hard to predict. Like, Barb doesn't show up like as a zombie or anything, but we do get the closure there, and that was a really cool part for Nancy to set those people up. She sets the doctors up, and she's recording them, and she reaches out to all the newscasts and like, she wants Barb's story told. She wants it to know that her death was covered up, and she wants her parents to have that closure, because that was a really heartbreaking scene when she goes to have dinner with Barb's parents and they're eating the KFC, and she goes into the bathroom and like all those pictures of Barb, and then she puts the picture of Barb down in the bathroom and she just sits there and cries, and it's just like her friend is gone. So she needs the closure. She knows Barb's parents need the closure, because they're not stopping looking for her. They're not going to stop looking for her. They want to know what happened to their daughter. We finally get the closure on Barb, and we get to see the funeral. Like, that was a closing end to that arc of this story. Oh, I love when they're all dressed up for Halloween as the Ghostbusters, and their parents are all taking pictures of them, and they're all posing with their guns and everything, but Mike isn't having it. But I thought Lucas taking all the pictures with his family was hilarious, and also with Dustin. And then when they show up, Mike and Lucas, and they're both the same person, and they're arguing about how neither of them want to, I forget the other Ghostbuster's name, how neither of them want to be the other Ghostbuster. They're like, he's not even a real scientist. So that was pretty funny. When they're all going trick-or-treating, and Will has a camcorder and he's recording everything, and that was pretty cool of Jonathan to be like, do you want to go by yourself with your friends, even though like it didn't turn out okay, because Will had like one of those memory flashes, and he ends up in the Upside Down, which he's like living in two like parallel universes at once. That's kind of crazy. Like, where are they going to take that? Is he going to be able to, is that still going to happen to him in season 3, or are those memories gone? Is he done like having the flashes into the Upside Down? And then when they're trick-or-treating and he falls down, and all those people are like making fun of him, and they're like, zombie boy, and he falls, and then like Mike finds him and takes him back home. He's a great friend. Like, he is there always. Like, oh, it's really, really, when they're in the hospital and they're asking like Will, like, do you remember who I am? Because like he doesn't remember Bob, and he's like, I don't know who you are. That was really sad. But then like I was like, the anticipation of when they're like, do you know who this is? And they point to Mike, and he's like just like waiting for him to say, that's my best friend. Like, I was like, oh my god, what if he doesn't remember him? But then you find out that that's not really Will, that's the shadow monster like warping inside Will's mind. You definitely get to see a lot more of Eleven's powers in this one. She puts the mask over her eyes so that she can I don't know like how she does it, if she's like inside another person's mind, or if she's like teleporting, or I don't know, but she does it to go see Mike every day, and like she puts a static on the TV or the radio or anything. Chief Hopper starts to like, she finds out that she's like, he's always telling her soon, she'll be able to leave soon, and she's like, when is soon? It's been 100 and blah 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 days, and you still say soon, and she's like, is soon 700 days from now? And he's like, when it's safe. But she's starting to feel very alone and very close, and like she's starting to feel like she was when she was with her papa. And I definitely don't think like that was what Chief Hopper was going for, but like he has love for her, and he's lost already one person in his life, and he doesn't want to lose her. He doesn't want to lose any more. When they have dinner together, and he's like telling her like, egos are dessert, you have to eat your dinner first. But then he really starts to hurt her feelings, because he's showing up late, and she's telling him like, friends don't lie. And then like when they have that huge fight, and she's like throwing everything around, and he goes to throw the book at her and tell her to like look up the definition of a brat, and she like stops it with her mind and like hits him with the couch and like slams the door in his face. Like, that was a really hard scene to watch, because you want them to love each other and you want them to get along, but you also want him to like let her out, but he's really afraid to show like their father-daughter relationship even more. When we flash back to the end, and she's telling him about how she rode that truck all the way to go see her mom, and he's like, you got in the car with some guy you don't even know. And then that's like when they're holding hands, and like she says that she's home. Like, that was an amazing scene, watching that between the two of them. So I could definitely go on and on forever about all the things that I loved in Stranger Things Season 2, but you guys let me know in the comments below, who was your favorite character, what was your favorite scene, what didn't you like, And how excited are you for season 3, even though we have to wait like a whole year for that? Do you have any theories about what might happen in season 3? If you guys enjoyed this video, if you like it, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.